In a puzzle with 48 pieces, 23 of them are edges. This is an example of percentages across the curriculum. Math does not have to be a separate subject. The current FSA presents math in real-world situations that most of us never need. For example, here's a demographic situation. How should I draw this graph? This problem has 3 sentences up here, and then it asks us to look at down here about the decades. And so it's a reading problem. It's not math. It's actually just looking at this labeling to see what does the label mean. This would be more appropriate perhaps in a reading exercise, but it's when we're talking about the mechanics of algebra, let's stick to the mechanics of algebra. Look at this question that has the word constraint. Have a look at this situation. The production costs for a toy company to manufacture a ball, blah, 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 blah. Who comes up with this thing? I mean, if I'm doing production cost, I'm going to list them. This is no way to generate. I mean, I've been in classes about supply and demand, and the supply curve starts high and goes down. So it's unclear how the production cost would be negative if we were making negative toys, or it would be X is the number of balls produced each day. Why would we even have this? The number of balls produced each day increases in cost until a certain point and then falls and then goes negative. They're wanting us to analyze this, I guess. So they're wanting us to come up with some constraint. What's a constraint for the model? Well, you can't have negatives. I guess that's one constraint. And you can't have more than here because you can't have a negative cost, I suppose. But why put students through this? Why not just say, what is the boundary of this graph if you only have physical elements? You can't have a negative element, and you can't have a negative cost. I mean, what is a reasonable constraint for this model? I mean, I've got students who are going to be barbers, they're going to work on cars, they're going to be office workers. They will be mothers. They will, I guess, have to do homework with their kids in about 25 years. But the point is, why are we putting it like this when really we need something like this, which is basically the point where the two lines meet is 5-4, right? This would be a reasonable question. So now 5.4, that must be that point. So 4 must be this point. Good. And now this is 12, 0. What are the two slopes on the graph? This is great. We can figure out the slope here because we've got 2 points. We can figure out the slope here because we've got 2 points. Excellent. This is a typical algebra. I mean, the kids have been training for this. Put this on the test, not this. I hope this is helpful to people who are charged with revising or coming up with an alternative test. We can say that the FSA algebra test looks for people who want to teach algebra someday, or at least use this kind of language. So can we offer students the same questions with everyday wording, such as instead of multiple choice, why not ask students to write explanations of what do these points mean? What values for x are in the real world? What do the values of x equal 14.58, x equals 0, and 32.38? What do they mean for here? Here and here. Now, if this is the number of items, you can't have negative items. And over here, you can't have a negative cost. That's what we're looking for. So go ahead. New FSA. I hope you will enjoy this. Hashtag new FSA algebra. Thank you.